Hey everybody, it's Allison Dorman here, and today I'm going to be talking about a Fort Worth master plan community that kind of blows the rest out of the water. This not only has its own beach, its own dog park, its own amazing pools, but it actually has its own MakerSpace. And if you've never heard of that, you definitely want to hear the rest of this video so you know exactly how cool it is. Today I'm going to be taking you guys on a tour of Walsh Ranch, Walsh, Texas, Walsh, whatever, but it is an amazing community about 12 miles, actually 12 minutes, I lied, 12 minutes outside of Fort Worth, and it's kind of its own little city, but it's got a lot of, prairie, a lot of open space. The developer RPG really took great care with their partnership with the Walsh family to preserve a lot of the beauty that was already there in this land from years ago that is now conveniently located right off its own highway exit. So it's kind of cool because you're able to hop on the highway and get wherever you need to go, but at the same time you kind of feel like you're in this own kind of little ranch oasis, and it's beautiful. So make sure you check out the rest of our videos so you can kind of see as we take you through the neighborhood. But a little bit about RPG. They are a big developer in this area. They've already done neighborhoods such as Stonebridge Ranch, Light Farms in Salina, Craig Ranch in Lantana. So if you're not familiar with them, you're welcome to just kind of do your own research on RPG and check out some of their other communities, and you'll see that Walsh definitely measures up and maybe even raises the bar on all of those other master plan communities. They have award-winning Aledo schools, which we'll talk about in a little bit, 23 acres of open space, 32 miles of hike and bike trails, and amenities like none other. So just stick around. I'm going to be going through everything. Walsh gets 2 thumbs up. I can't drop my paper. 2 thumbs up. You're going to love it. So I want to talk to you guys about the amenities that are in Walsh. And we know, as you've heard me talk about before, a lot of people are really looking towards the master plan communities because they just recognize that whether all this stay-at-home stuff is going on or whether it's kind of just normal life, that having the convenience of everything within your own community, not only does it make it easy, it also just helps bring people together. And I think people kind of got hungry for that. And so these master plan communities have become really successful. So let's just jump right into the amenities. First of all, Walsh has a world-class fitness center, and moms, they even offer childcare. So you can kind of check on that and see if that's available right now. But it's really nice when you want to go work out. You've got a couple of neighbors in there, or you just want to go work out by yourself, but you've got the kids with you, they can go play in there and use the childcare. And that way everyone is happy. They have a 10,000 square foot multi-use gym. So there's workout machines in there, tons of different exercise equipment that's all kind of state of the art. Then they also have a huge exercise room, and they actually call it a movement center. But they hold classes in there. You can do those cardio classes. You can do the bikes that make your thighs feel like they're gonna fall off the next day. All kinds of good stuff. And they even have, like locker rooms where you can go in there and change and kind of refresh yourself if you either are coming from work or headed to work or just don't want to go home all sweaty and gross. So it's really top notch. And I would love it. It might actually make me work out. Another thing that they have throughout the neighborhood are lots of playgrounds. You'll see me as I almost get beat up in the hips trying to fit myself down the slide, but pocket parks throughout the neighborhood. So even though it's a larger development, it's very, has a peaceful feeling. There's playgrounds all throughout. So that's just kind of a nice touch that it's not all just in one area, that it's kind of spread out. So everybody can enjoy it no matter where you are. Another thing that this neighborhood boasts is an amazing community pool. You guys can see they have cabanas so that when the heat is on, you don't have to bake and barbecue. You can kind of take a break, but still be outside and enjoy just the beauty of the pool. They've got beach entry. So if you have either little kids or you just kind of don't want to get fully wet, you just kind of want to sit there and chat. It's kind of nice to sit at that little shallow section. They've got, like I said, shaded areas already up. They've got a water slide that looks super fun to go down. They've got a swim up island, a shaded baby pool, and then there's also a separate section that has a 6-lane junior Olympic lap pool, and there is a swim team in the neighborhood. So if whether you just want to go and kind of get some exercise at the Olympic lap pool, or whether you want to like slap on that Speedo and compete for swim team, like you're good. And then there's also, like we talked about, multiple playgrounds throughout. They've got basketball courts, they've got tennis courts, a dog park for your furry little friends. There is a private lake with beach entry, which is actually really nice because sometimes you just want to break from the pool. And so it's nice to either take a little picnic down there at the lake or just kind of sit on the side of the beach. The kids can play in the sand, or you can play in the sand. You might be a big kid who enjoys that as well. And it's just kind of a nice, peaceful thing to do. And then they also have, I don't know if I would call this an amenity, but it's just an awesome thing if you're working from home, or, again, you just need the internet for your TV or anything like that. They have a 2 gigabyte internet that goes to every home. They have their own kind of private internet system within the community so that you know that you have something strong that's offered out there. So there's a couple other amenities I want to share with you in a minute, but that's just kind of the quick overview of the athletic club and the pools and some of the other things they have going on. Okay, so Walsh is not only just dripping with community, dripping with charm, they also really took a lot of care to, kind of put the neighborhood together in a way that it really would foster community and just kind of be unique. And so you'll just notice that as you see the different offerings that they have throughout the community, you'll kind of get a feel for what I'm talking about. One of the things we mentioned is that they have that athletic club, and then we're going to talk about the MakerSpace in a minute, but they have year-round programs. So whether that's classes and workshops or just different events for the neighborhood, it is a great way to maybe learn something new, try something new, but also it's just a great way to meet neighbors. I know, again, when we moved across country, sometimes it's kind of hard to figure out, like, how am I going to meet people without looking like a creeper when they're checking their mail and you're like, hi, you want to be my friend? Like, you don't want to feel like awkward. And so just attending one of those classes or one of those workshops, even if it's yoga, whatever it is, whether you care about it or not, it's nice just to have something that's offered that you can plug into, where you can kind of connect with a few people. And if it happens to be something that you're already interested in, then that's great, because you're going to have common ground already besides just being neighbors. So checking out those programs and workshops and classes can be a great way to, not only enjoy your community, but also be a part of it and meet some new people. And then I also wanted to talk to you guys about, they have a neighborhood market in Walsh, and this is so convenient. Sometimes, you just want to grab a quick snack, or maybe you just, forgot something at the grocery store and you don't want to have to run all the way out to the grocery store for that one thing. It's so nice that it's offered within the neighborhood. And sometimes they have, like breakfast tacos, they have, kind of some light, fruit and sandwiches and yogurt and milk and eggs and stuff like that. But it's worth just popping into that market village and seeing what they have there. But it's just a really cool offering when, again, either you just need a quick snack, or whether you need a little light lunch or something, like I said, a picnic that you want to take up to the pool or to the lake, whatever. It's nice that it's right there inside your own neighborhood. And they also have a gas fill-up station. So it's not like a full-on gas station, but it is a place that if you're low on gas, if you're like me, my husband always hates to get in my car because it's always on empty right when he gets in, and he's really sweet and fills it up for me. But if I lived in Walsh, there's a gas station right there, so I wouldn't have any excuse. So it's really convenient. Just top off or whatever it is you need to do right there inside the neighborhood. And then there's greenhouses in Walsh. And so if you are a garden junkie, then that's something that you might want to take advantage of, having a greenhouse that you can grow beautiful things. And that's where some of those classes and workshops come into play as well. And then they also have garden boxes. And so if kind of like a community garden where everyone kind of chooses a box, and then you kind of grow what you want within that box. And then sometimes people share, their harvest, whether it's flowers or whether it's fruit and vegetables. It's just something cool that's already already, you know, put in place, the watering and the boxes and the soil, and then you can just kind of manage it. So I always think that's fun. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk to you about was the Maker Station. So this is very unique. There is a partnership with an amazing author and kind of entrepreneur who really wants to help people learn craft and be able to, you know, kind of maintain a craft without necessarily having to have all of the different equipment that can get expensive and might be hard to store. And so this was his kind of brainchild, is to have these maker stations. And I think there's only about 500 across the country. And so it's really cool that there's one right inside of Walsh. So you can see that inside the MakerSpace, not only do they have the tools and the equipment, they also have different workshops. And so you can check out the Walsh website to see all of the different, you know, offerings and different things that they have there. But just to kind of give you a few, they have a 3D printer, they have robotics lab, they've got, you know, laser cutter, they've got woodworking tools, they've got things for sewing. I tried my sewing once and it didn't go well. So for those of you that are into sewing, or maybe you can invite me to one of the classes here so I can learn how to be a master of my sewing machine. But they even have kid kits. So that's a great way for kind of the younger kids to plug in and be creative and also take advantage of some of that entrepreneurial things that can go on in Walsh. And then they also have a huge Lego wall. So maybe you are coming in to work on the heat press, make a t-shirt, the vinyl cutter is in there, and the kids come along and they want to play with that giant Lego wall. So it can be a win-win for everybody. So just check out, that's kind of a really neat thing, whether you're, you know, a hobbyist or just someone who's kind of getting into something, or whether you're kind of a pro. All of the equipment is in there. You can, you know, go in during the hours. You can sign up for classes and workshops and learn something really neat and share, or you're just share your talent with some of your neighbors. So yay for the MakerSpace. So not only does Walsh have a great location, a beautiful kind of prairie scenery, if you will, but they also have beautiful homes. And one of the things that I really appreciate about Walsh, and you'll see this as we're kind of taking you through the neighborhood, is that there's a good range of home sizes and home prices and architectural styles. So it doesn't feel kind of Edward Scissorhandsy where it's just same. You get a lot of variety, and I really enjoy that because I feel like it fosters true community where you have people from all different ages and stages who are able to live together and enjoy life together in the same neighborhood. And so you can check out the Walsh website and see the different builders. They actually have 11 different builders in there. Some of them are do, you know, inventory and build jobs, and then some of them are actually custom builders. And so it's nice that they have a section for all of those custom builds, and then they kind of have some of the other you know, traditional builders throughout the neighborhood. And I would say, obviously, depending upon when you're checking out this video, the prices range from the mid to high threes all the way up into $1 million plus. So again, I love that you have that big range, because then you actually have a lot of diversity in your neighborhood. And you have a lot of different architectural styles. So within that, they have some really rigid architectural rules, which I appreciate because it keeps the neighborhood beautiful. But they also allowed 8 different styles in there, so it's not same old, same old. So you can have some that are, they call it arts and crafts. I would call it kind of more of like a craftsman style home. They've got some colonial revival, which is kind of more of maybe that traditional, you know, brick and column look. They have Mediterranean, which I really appreciate. I know Toll Brothers has some really pretty Mediterranean style homes in there. They've got mid-century modern, which is kind of fun if you're kind of into that, you know, clean lines and maybe that Danish style, that Scandinavian style. Modern farmhouse, which is kind of all the rage right now. Texas vernacular, which I think is kind of the typical, you know, Texas brick styled home. If you kind of just love that look, they have that there too. Something transitional, which is kind of maybe a mix of something a little bit traditional and a little bit more modern. And then they also kind of have a Tudor style. So you kind of get a little bit of that English cottage or that English look. So I like that there's just a lot of variety within the architecture. And then lot sizes, typically you have, you know, kind of the smaller lot sizes on the 50-foot lots all the way up to 70-foot lots. And so you get a good range, which is nice. The lot sizes are not huge. You're not getting like half acres or acreage in Walsh, but because there's so much community space, so much green space, so many amenities, you know, you can kind of spend your time outside, maybe not in your own yard per se, but in a lot of the different things that the community offers. So I want to take a minute too and talk about the schools in Walsh. And whether you have school-aged children or whether you're just interested in the school ratings, a lot of people, even if their kids are already out of the house, or maybe you haven't had kids yet, or kids are just not on your list, no worries. But I like to share about the schools because it can kind of impact your resale value. And so just know that in Walsh, you have the gift of being part of the Aledo school system, which is really, really high ranking and attracts a lot of great families and is really good for your resale value. So a little bit about the Aledo school system. Their kind of motto is growing greatness. They are the Bearcats, and for now the schools the colors are orange and black. And so you can check out the, like Aledo school website and check out all of the different, elementary, middle school, high school offerings and things like that they have going on. So I'll just kind of give you an overview. One of the things that I enjoy doing is I always like to check out niche.com and kind of see, the different comments, the reviews and the ratings there. So they get an A in almost literally every category but one, and that's diversity. And a lot of that is just because, certain people might not want to live in that area of Fort Worth. I don't know. But I like that every other category got an A. So it's a solid school system. They got an A for academics. They got an A for teachers. They got an A for the different clubs and activities that you have. So you get a wide range of offerings. One of the things that I think is cool, we talked about that MakerSpace earlier, and they do partner with the local schools to be able to sometimes do different things or have some of those, kind of master craftsmen come in and talk to the class. And so it's cool that there's that partnership there with the MakerSpace, that the students, even in the middle school and high school, have access to some of the different tools and equipment and, craftsmen who might be in there. And then also they are great with their college prep program and health and safety. So lots and lots of A's for the Aledo school system. They're actually number 4 out of over 1,000 schools in Texas. Number 4, that's pretty high on the list for best school district for athletes in Texas. So again, if you're in band even, or if you're an athlete, then the Aledo school system might be one that you want to check out. They're also number 34, again, over 1,000 different school districts in Texas. They ranked 34 out of best school district in Texas. So that's really, that's a great standing to be in. And one of the things that I know people always ask about is, again, as of the filming of this video, if you are under contract on a house, you can register for school. So some districts allow that and some districts don't. Some districts you have to actually be physically living in the house. So it's nice that as of, again, the filming of this video, so if it changes, don't get mad at me. Reach out if you have that question currently and we can check on that. But you can register your kids for school if you're even under contract. So great school system going on in Aledo, have a lot to offer. Okay, so hopefully you got a great taste of what the Walsh Ranch, it's hard to say that, neighborhood, community, master planned, everything has to offer. It is really a treasure in my opinion. I love it. I did have a little bit of soreness after going down that slide, but that's because I'm old. Your kids will love it. So it's a great community. And so you guys know that one of the things, besides being addicted to coffee, I'm also addicted to helping families, people, whoever, just come to Texas and settle in. And I love being a resource for you. So if you are considering moving to Texas, you're coming here, I want you to not only share my videos with people you know that are moving here so that they can feel like a local expert, but I also want you to just reach out to me. You can send me a text, you can send me an email, you can give me a call, and I would be happy to help you find your happy place. I want you to, since I'm Allison Dorman, I want you to adore your home here in Texas too. So share this video, subscribe to our channel, and see what we have going on next week.